Okay, are we live? Is this live? What's happening? Happy New Year, everyone. For those of you guys who are watching this after I actually do the live stream, um, first live stream of 2020. Let me just get things adjusted here for you guys really quick. Let me fix this. There we go. All right, hopefully that works. Probably can't see it in the background now, but that's all right. For those of you guys who follow me like on Instagram and stuff, I actually posted a new kind of like little backdrop thing that I have there. So let me make sure all my chat is on here. What's up? What's up, TSB? How's it going, man? Happy New Year. How's it going? Let me get my channel going really quick. Thanks for the like, by the way. All right, let's see. Let's get things going here. Get my channel. See my actual live stream. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. How's it going? Happy New Year, by the way. My thumbnail doesn't look too great. That's all right. TSB, thank you for joining in. Happy New Year. Hopefully you had a good holiday, man. A safe holiday. Christmas and New Year kind of just crept up on us like that. 2020, pretty crazy, I guess. How fast 2019 went. I just am amazed on how quick it went. And for those of you guys who didn't see my last video, I actually acquired a Nexus 4 from eBay, which it's a pretty solid phone. And one thing I miss about these devices is they have like little LED notification things down here in the front. I don't know if it's popped up yet or not. Let's see. There we go. Can you see that? So that's one thing that I kind of miss about these older phones is I remember the Nexus 4 and 5 actually had that little notification I guess light, and it actually changes color with the different apps. So if you have like Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, if it's like a Facebook notification, you'll get like a blue light. If you get a Twitter, it'll be like a teal light, and then just whatever else. General notifications are different colors. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, I want to hopefully do a few videos with this phone, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. But if I do, it'll be just as a souvenir or a trinket, so to speak, if you know what I mean. So let's see how that goes. Let me know how the lighting is, by the way. I feel like I'm kind of washed out over here. Looks like you're the only one here, by the way, TSB. So let me go ahead and share this on my Twitter, see if anyone joins in over here. If not, well, then that's all right also. And I'm over here enjoying my Apple Watch also, by the way, which you guys can see that there or not. Apple Watch Series 3. Pretty nice watch actually, and I've already had it going for like more than like 30 hours without having to recharge it, and it's still at 46% battery. So I let it. I was off today, so I was letting it discharge the night before just to see how the battery life would be on it, and for the most part, I'm not disappointed. So. All right, I'm sharing this on my regular Facebook timeline also, by the way, which is weird. Or not Facebook, not YouTube timeline. I guess if you're a part of the community page, you'll see my post that I post. So, ¿Qué pasa, Master Droid HD? Feliz Año Nuevo, Senor Hoven. Hopefully, do Nintendo, sir. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just decided to hit up a live stream tonight. I don't work early tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to live stream for a little bit tonight. Let's see how many people we can get going on here tonight. Again, I just wanted to, I guess, kick back and talk with you guys, see how everything is with everybody. Just I don't know, talk in general. So, how was everyone's New Year's? Was everyone safe? I kind of don't like that you guys can't see that little thing in the background. By the way, it says BTech reviews in the back, so I kind of don't like that you can't see it. I guess, but it is the lighting. I guess if I was a little bit closer to it, and maybe I'll have another setup eventually where I'm just like sitting right in front of that, and you guys can see that. But again, Feliz Año Nuevos Amigos. Okay. But for the most part, I'm sure you guys saw the video on my Apple Watch, and if you didn't, what can I help you with? I'm not Apple Watch. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, I don't know what's going on. It just started doing things. Man, you guys are over here talking really good Spanish over here, and I can't speak Spanish at all. That's funny. The girl that I'm talking to right now, actually, she's very fluid in Spanish, and she actually knows more Spanish than the English. So it's but her English has gotten better. So she has a little bit of an accent. She's cute though. But anywho, uh, whatever, guys. I just wanted to get on tonight and chit chat. Thanks for liking my video. So far, I have 4 likes, so that's good. Even though YouTube's saying that I only have 1 person watching, so I don't know if that's just like a system glitch or what. Let me see if I can change this really quick. Yeah. Can I crush it? Does that look weirder? Oh no, that looks super weird. Let's go back to pop. Or let's check out the other filters here. Blush, maybe? Blush looks a little better. Or whatever I had it on. Crush or blush? I'll leave it like that. That looks a little bit... Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm live streaming on one of my phones. That's why. I was going to try live streaming on the Nexus 4, but the front-facing camera is so old. It's such a low-end camera that I just decided not to do it. I thought it would probably look not as bad on the rear-facing camera, but to be honest, the low light capabilities on this camera is just pretty horrible. And I've already tried taking pictures in my room, and the low lighting is just bad. So, Master Droid, I bought it on eBay, man. I think I was just doing a random search one day, and I saw a seller selling it for like $40, and I made him an offer of 30, and they accepted the offer, and they had pretty decent amount of pictures of the actual device on there. It was very in good condition. I think the only fault, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, is right here on top where my finger is. There's kind of like a little bit of a ding there on the corners, but it's not really affecting the screen. The screen's not cracked. Let me open that up for you guys so you guys can see that. So the screen's not cracked. It just feels good in the hand, guys. Like, it feels good to hold this phone in 2019, I guess, or 2020. It's 2020. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's just very nostalgic for me. I was trying to put the Visible Mobile SIM in it, but I wasn't able to get the little converter. It's because this doesn't take a micro. I think this takes a micro SIM, not a nano SIM, and most newer phones take nano SIM cards now. So I do have like the little converter for it, but for whatever reason, it's not staying in. So I just decided to go without having any type of mobile connectivity at the moment, I guess. Um, but overall, I mean, you'd be surprised, I guess. How well this older phone performs. Like I mean, you guys can kind of see here. Like, it's pretty snappy for the age. Let's open up Instagram here. I was messaging with the small timers, aka King of Tech Deals, and other guys like Lady Red Tech Reviews, and Alter Tech, etc., like that. So for the most part, you guys can see here. I mean, it gets the job done. I mean, I'm not complaining. Look at that. They're promoting Bold phones over here. That's sponsored video right here. So pinch to zoom works pretty good. Obviously, my internet connection slow. This is connected to Wi-Fi. The screen looks really good for, again, 20. This is a 2012 device, by the way, guys. And, this phone is pretty crazy. I mean, at the time, it was meant to compete with the iPhone, which at the time I think was like the iPhone 4 or 4S, I believe. So at the time, this was a very innovative phone. It had wireless Qi charging in 2012, guys. It had NFC capabilities, so they were already using, like, Android Pay with a device like this. It was competing with phones like the Samsung Galaxy S4. And for the most part, I'm just very surprised that this phone has held up so well, in the past 8 years already. So I wish I could return it to Android Jelly Bean, because Android Jelly Bean had the shut off that goes like this, kind of like an old school TV, and I kind of hate that that Lollipop got rid of that feature and it didn't keep it. It just has like a regular shut off or whatever. Hey, what's up? Tech for Your Needs. Happy New Year, by the way. First live stream of 2020. It's just general Q&A and general tech talk or whatever. Jelly Bean in 2020. To be honest, Jelly Bean kind of set the standard of what Android is today. You know what I mean? I mean it was very innovative, and they've just basically built off of it. I mean, if you guys are have followed Android over the past 7-8 years already, it really hasn't changed much. I mean, the UI, it's very different, obviously. Obviously this has an app drawer over here on the bottom, opposed to, now Android 10 or Android 9.0. It has like a thing where you just kind of swipe up. This thing still has Google Now, which is weird, I think. I don't know if that works or not. It says complete action using Google Assistant or just Google in general. So, I'm not going to mess with that too hard. For the most part, though, again, this phone is just pretty beast. Again, it's running a Snapdragon S4 Pro, and I'm not complaining one bit. Let's see how Twitter works. Let's go to Twitter really quick. Again, it's going to take time to load, probably because of my... Oh, that's that's my notifications. My bad. My Wi-Fi is not great. Okay, hold on. Fell over here. I'm going to have to probably kill the app. Let's try again. Twitter. All right, Twitter. Hey, what's up? Okay, hold on. Who is here? Tech for Your Needs. Master Droid. So, I mean, again, guys, you can see that, it's not really laggy. I mean, again, I don't have this clutter with apps, but at the same time, this is only 16 gigs of internal memory, and I only have about 9 or 8 gigs left of use, so I don't plan to again, like, dump this down with apps just because I don't really want to. If anything, I might just use this like as a backup music player or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. My first Android had Android 2.2, I think, which was Froyo, or possibly 2.1. I'm not 100% sure if I remember that correctly. But man, dude, like, for the most part, this phone is holding up. It's really light. I'm actually considering getting a case just because of the glass back. Even if they still sell cases in 2020 already, I can't believe I'm saying that. 2020, guys, it is the year 2020, and I'm not getting any younger. Okay, so let's see. My first Android was the HTC G1, so I've been using Android since day one in the USA. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think that was the first device that had Android OS on it. My first Android device was actually the LG Optimus G, I think, or V, which was the Virgin Mobile version. That phone was all over the place, though. It was on Sprint, it was on Verizon, it was on T-Mobile probably also. I don't remember at the time. But for the most part, it was a really solid device for one of LG's first Android devices, and I really enjoyed using it. Had a good weight to it. It is what it was at the time. It had physical buttons or physical capacitive buttons. And when after that, I think I got the LG Optimus. I got a few other phones after that, and then finally I decided to transition over from the prepaid version to an unlocked phone. And actually, the Nexus 4 was my first unlocked phone that I ever bought. And again, at the time, it was only I believe $249, and $249 for the 8 gig, and I believe $300 for the 16 gigabyte variant, which is just $50 difference. It wasn't too big of a deal breaker. I ordered it when it was released, I believe. I didn't make a video, or at least I don't think I made a video about it at the time. I would have to go and check the first set of videos on my YouTube channel to verify if I even made a video about this. I do remember making a video on the Nexus 5, though. But if I don't have a video on this, I do have a video on the Nexus 5. But you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I do have videos on the Nexus 4. Probably didn't get a lot of hits at the time because, again, my videography was a little... lame back then, I guess, or it wasn't as good back then as it is now. So it's whatever, I guess. All right, let's see. Let me go back to y'all's chats. The LG Optimus Android 2.2, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Android 2.2. I think it upgraded to Android 2.3, and then I didn't last with that phone that long. I had that phone maybe like 6 months, and then I upgraded to like a Samsung Galaxy knockoff. It wasn't a knockoff, but it wasn't a regular Samsung Galaxy. It was called the Samsung Galaxy Reverb by Virgin Mobile. TSB says they had LG Optimus V, the S, and the T for T-Mobile, and more versions. I can't remember. Master Droid says on AliExpress, I saw that they also sell it, but I don't know if they are going to arrive. Okay. Well, hey, I mean, if they're on AliExpress, do it. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is. I don't trust AliExpress just yet. I think it's one of those sellers from like China or something like that. And I know the shipping on AliExpress takes forever. It's like the Wish app. Like you order something and it's just like, whatever, I guess. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to close some old tabs here. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, this thing has an IPS display, guys, which is why it doesn't look too bad compared to others. It says it's got a scratch-resistant glass, Corning Gorilla Glass 2, so it's an older version of. It's got an ambient light sensor again on the bottom, proximity sensor, which isn't new. But I think the one thing that people kind of hated about this phone, which if you guys saw in my video, was the fact that this didn't have LTE capabilities, even though apparently it did have the bands, and there was some users or hackers that were able to get the LTE bands to actually work on this device. Again, I was a T-Mobile user, and at the time it was working on T-Mobile's HSPCA or HSPC Plus network or whatever, their 4G network, basically. I mean, I really wish they would honestly, I really wish they would revamp the Nexus brand. I mean, to me, it was more, um, it was more legit. I think LG honestly made the best Nexus phones. The LG Nexus 4, the 5, the 5X. I feel like once they started kind of straying away from LG, from the makers, I know Motorola made an attempt for the Nexus because Google at the time bought out Motorola, so they decided, hey, we'll use Motorola to make our device or whatever, and then Motorola ended up being sold to Lenovo. So I thought that was really stupid. I think Google should have just kept Motorola, and they should have just tried to compete with Apple in that sense. I feel like Motorola could have been one of those top Android companies out there, and Samsung for the most part has dominated since the early days of the smartphones. You know what I mean? I guess ever since the S3 was released, the Samsung Galaxy S3, that was kind of like an innovator because the screen was so huge on that device. I believe it was like a 5.5 inch or 5.7 inch. And don't get me wrong, like other phones did the same thing, like HTC and But I mean, I feel like Samsung was a little more uh, on the future side, especially when it came to certain things like the way the screen looked and everything like that. Very solid builded phones. You know what I mean? So I think they were ahead on that. Okay, HSPA Plus. There you go. So I never had an issue as far as network capabilities with the Nexus 4, with the HSPA Plus network, and for the most part, it is what it was. You know what I mean? The Note 2 was huge for its time. Yeah, I think after Samsung decided to go dig out the Samsung Galaxy Note phones, they were like, "Oh yeah, I need a huge phone," and now like everyone's got a ginormous phone. Like if you guys look at my iPhone 11 over here, I can literally stick the Nexus in there, and look at that. That's like such a big difference in body ratio, and that's because again the screen to body ratio on this is like way off. Like look at the chin on this. Look at the chin on that. I mean, what? I think probably at the time I didn't even notice or I didn't even care that it was like that. Hold on, I'm responding to a few messages over here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, but I mean, again, I think the Note probably made a breakout when the Note 3 came out. I didn't really care for the Note 1 or 2. There was really nothing like jaw dropping about it other than the screen size and the battery life, obviously. But I feel like the Note 3 kind of outdid those other two devices because it just had like a much better build quality on the phones, and it was just more impressive in general as far as specs go. Okay, Master Droid says, I sent you a message to your page. My name is Kevin on Facebook. Okay. If you're talking about my Facebook page, then I will have to probably check that out later. Kevin Hang, that's such a white name, by the way, man. And you're over here talking to me in Espanol. So, yeah, there he is. I'm looking at it right now. Not sure what's going on there, amigo. Let's see. But maybe he has something to tell me. Is it Kevin Hang or Kevin Cuellar? Because I'm getting a Kevin Cuellar over here instead. Well, anyway, I'll respond to you later, man, if that's okay. Not while I'm doing the live stream, okay? Okay, let me exit out here. Cuellar is in Spanish. Okay, well, Kevin Cuellar. That's all right. I'll message you back later, bro. So let's keep it focused on the live stream. Let's see if I can get 100 viewers tonight on BTech's channel. All right. I mean, I doubt I'll get 100 viewers, but I'm just saying. You never know. Okay, hold on. Maybe I should go back to Glow. Sorry for the shakiness, by the way. Or pop, I guess. I feel like my skin tone is just very ugly over here. Sorry, guys, for the shakiness, by the way. I don't really have this set up on a tripod or anything. I wish I had 1,000 viewers watching my live stream right now. That'd be awesome. I wouldn't be able to keep up with all the messages, though. Like, I've seen some of those bigger YouTubers, guys like Kevin Breeze or Tech Right during their live streams, or even guys like MTR Magic Tech, and you know they have like 30 to 100 people and they're just chit chatting away, and I'm just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like I can't keep up with any of that. Like it's really tough just to kind of maintain the chat, which is why I'm kind of like appreciative of my smaller community, at least when it comes to like the live chats over here. Um, it is what it is, I guess. You know, I'm happy with 5 to 10 people, I guess. Rather than having like 1,000, I guess, you know what I mean? But I guess one day, you know, if my YouTube channel ever gets to be that big, then we'll see how that goes, you know what I mean? TSB, share my YouTube channel with all your friends, and maybe I will get all of those viewers one day. Until then, okay. See if I can lower this so you guys can see the mic. I have a mic right here, even though it's not connected. It's just for show, by the way. But all right, it's whatever. I'm just gonna put that back down, I guess. I feel like a Potato Jet over here with the mic, even though it's a fake microphone. Well, it's not fake. I can connect it. I just don't have my webcam connected. But again, what questions do you guys have for me? Again, it's 2020. You know, what would you guys like to see more of? What would you guys not want to see more of? You know what I mean? You know, kind of lean back here. You know, if you guys want to see new stuff on my channel, you know, now's the time to tell me because I can get those ideas from you all, my fans, my true fans is what I like to call you guys. TSB, Master Droid, Tech for Your Needs. Yeah, Samsung does have marketing Tech for Your Needs, man. I don't know if you're still there or not. But yeah, they had the money to make the marketing happen. You know what I mean? Other than that, but I guess at the same time, a lot of those other phone carriers kind of relied on the carriers to do the marketing for them as far as like the phones and like you know how popular they were. I mean, it was rare back then to see commercials just about cell phones. You know, I mean now they're everywhere. iPhone, Samsung, whatever. Now you know Motorola is going crazy with the flip phone, the flip phone Razr coming back again, and it's just like wow. You know what I mean? Like the amount of tech and stuff that's going to be changing in the next couple of years is just going to be mind blowing for me because you know I've always been an advocate for tech and you know just stuff like that in general. But it's crazy. Like I guess now I feel like I'm at a point where like I'm just like not keeping up with technology as much as I did like 5 years ago. Um, you want me to buy the Nexus 5? I could probably score a Nexus 5 really cheap. Also, probably around the $40-50 range. Also, depending on the condition. I really owe the Galaxy Nexus. I never had a Galaxy Nexus, but I know that the Galaxy Nexus had an AMOLED display, and I think that they were only catered to like what Sprint or whatever carrier they were for back in the day. I think I personally never had a Galaxy Nexus, but I liked them because it had like kind of like a curved display, and I liked that Samsung back then was doing. They weren't afraid to be a little different with some of the stuff. So I know that some of their phones had curved displays back then, and the Galaxy Nexus was one of them, which I didn't have a problem with. I never got to personally have it, but I mean, for the most part, yeah, I could try to buy all the Nexus devices and just have like a collection. But to me, it's like why do it? You know what I mean? I mean, I would like to have I would like to have the ones that I had. You guys saw that I had the 5X a while back. I ended up selling that to Tito Escobar or Aloha Android. One of my buddies from, and he's another YouTuber. If you guys haven't checked his channel out, go ahead and subscribe. But he actually has the iPhone 7 that I had right now, and he was doing some testing and whatnot with that. So I know that he's been using that for a while. I don't know if he's using that as his daily currently, but he's been using it. He's been trying to kind of see what the whole hype is about iPhones, etc., like that. So I'm glad that he was able to kind of get his hands on the device. But yeah, if I do buy a Nexus 5, I'll probably see if I can get the one with like either the white back or the red back, because I originally had the one with the black back, and it was I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was like a fingerprint magnet, so it looked really nasty. And I think at one point I actually I removed the black back on it, and I replaced it with a red Nexus back, and it looked amazing. But at the time, it messed up with the little vibration function on the back of it. I guess the back had like a little vibration motor, and it messed up the back of it, and I wasn't getting like the vibration notification. So like when I went to work or when I was at school and I was getting a text message, I wouldn't know I was getting something unless I actually took my phone out of my pocket or if I had it on the table, because I wasn't getting notifications when it was on silent mode, so or it wasn't vibrating. So I don't know if they all just left, or I don't know if that's just YouTube's way of telling me that my algorithm is horrible and that they hate me. That's all right. It's whatever. Let me see if I can lower this a little bit. I feel like it's a little high. There you go. That's a little better. TSB says he's here. You see, they didn't all leave. They love me. But no, for the most part, I if I do decide to try to get my hands on another Nexus device, it'll most likely be the 5 and then maybe the original 6, because there's the 6 made by Motorola and then the 6P. I actually had the Nexus 6, but to be honest, I only had it for maybe a few months, if anything, because that summer that I had it, I believe it came out. I don't remember if I bought it right away. I think it came out like, I don't know, either the fall of 2013 or 14, I believe. I think it was 2014, because the Nexus 5 must have came out in 2013, and then the Nexus 6 came out the following year. So I bought it, and then not too long after, LG sent me the LG G4, and I was actually using that phone as my daily driver for a little bit. And I ended up selling the Nexus just because I wasn't really impressed on the camera. I guess I feel like the Nexus 5 had a better camera, and it took very washed out photos. Like it was really grainy, and I feel like at the time, the performance was still good. You know what I mean? I think that was one thing that Nexus always kind of had over, or that they had something going for that, was that, but they never really had great cameras on their devices, and a lot of people in the past will agree or attest to that, people that had Nexus phones. But it wasn't really so much about because they wanted a great camera. It was more about like the usage and the enjoyability of using it. Would any Nexus be good to be used in 2020? I mean, if you were able to get your hands on a Nexus device, I would probably either go with like a Nexus 6 or a Huawei 6P, I guess, because those ones are a little more updated as far as like the specs go. You know what I mean? But again, I had the 5X, and the 5X, didn't have any performance issues in my opinion. It was more just like the battery life on it was kind of already gone. And you know, again, I ended up selling that to Rob, aka Tito, aka Aloha Android, and he can kind of attest to that. That the performance is not horrible. You know what I mean? Um, but it is what it is, I guess. You know, it was still a snappy phone. The build quality of it was not great, honestly. The 5X, LG kind of just went the route where you know they again wanted to release a device that was performance. This LG Nexus 4 was probably their best built Nexus device in my opinion. I mean, I've had my hands on the regular 5 and the 5X, and this one feels like it's the best made. You know what I mean? And that's because this one has the wireless Qi charging. If I'm correct, I don't remember the original 5 having wireless charging, so they kind of took that away. So that a lot of people were kind of pissed off about that actually. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking to buy like a Nexus device to use in 2020, you know, again, you know, you're gonna have to make some compromises if if you want to get an older device like that. You know what I mean? Um, especially if you guys like to play games and have like, uh, memory hogging apps, and I'm talking about like heavy apps, heavy apps that contain a lot of data or whatever, or megabits or gigabytes. You know what I mean? I'm using this older phone, and again, the apps on this older device are not as big as the ones on the newer devices because the newer apps like just contain so much more crap to them. You know what I mean? And again, this is running Android Lollipop, so it's like it's integrated for that. But again, it's really up to you. It's really your preference on what you want. I guess if you try to go for a Nexus phone, try to get something with at least 32 gigs of internal storage, just because that's pretty much, in my opinion, like the base of what you would want to, as far as memory in a phone in 2020. Anything lower than that, and it's just like basically the Android system is going to hog up half of the internal memory on the phone. So I would kind of stay away from that. My Apple Watch is still performing good, guys. By the way, guys. Tech Twan B, what's up? Happy New Year, man. Thanks for joining in tonight. How are you doing? What are you talking about right now? I just got here. Tech Twan B, we are actually talking about the Nexus 4, which is a phone that I got recently. So if you're familiar with Android and Google and their Nexus devices, I decided to purchase an older Nexus device, which again, this is the Nexus 4. And for the most part, it's not doing bad in 2020. You know what I mean? This is an 8-year-old phone, and it's running super smoothly and buttery. And I think that was like one of the cool thing. Well, that was one of the cool things about having one of these phones back in the day. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how good this phone has aged. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of, let's see if I can get that over here on the screen here. I'm just kind of crazy about like how good this performs. It's very very little stuttering on this phone, guys. So happy New Year. Yeah, and again, there's no way to upgrade your internal storage on that. So I think that was one thing that kind of Google screwed up on back in the day, is that they should have allowed users to expand the memory by putting like a micro SD card in the phones. And I guess that's just something that they kind of stayed away from. My man's, we out here with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. All right, Trump my joy. If you want to send one of those Galaxy Note 10 Pluses my way, man, go for it, man. I appreciate it. DM me in the towel section below. I'll send you my address. No, but no, I mean, yes, I know that it's 2020, and we have the Samsung Galaxy S10, the 10 Plus, the Google Pixel 4. But it's nice to kind of reminisce about these old devices. Like you don't see devices that have like cool patterns on them anymore. I don't know if you guys can catch that or not. Let me see. And if not, you can go watch the other video. But like it has a cool pattern on the back here. TSB says SD card and expansion would have competed so much more with Apple at the time. It would have. To be honest, if Nexus would have had that, it probably would have buried Apple a lot more, or it would have at least given it a little more competition as far as the cells go. Because I know back then they didn't really market Nexus phones. I don't believe they started marketing the Nexus phones until the 5X and the Huawei 6P. So, or even the Motorola. I think Motorola version of Nexus. You didn't really start seeing marketing until those devices were out. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit disappointing, I guess, back then, just because again, you didn't see it. But I mean, the people that really kind of followed the tech and what it was back then knew that Nexus devices were good. You know what I mean? I know, right? I wish companies would still be a little more creative on stuff like that, also. But I mean, what can you do, right? So, um, it is what it is, though. I mean, I can't complain, honestly. I mean, again, it feels cool to have such an old device like this on me, and I'm just happy to have it. I'm happy to have it. I think this was kind of like I'm gonna look back at this like 10, 15 years from now, and I'm gonna be like, man, like none of the stuff we have now in smartphones would even be like around if it wasn't for like Google being innovative with a lot of the stuff that they did. And don't get me wrong, like I know a lot of companies copied other companies when it came to stuff. Like if you think about it, like Apple. And even Samsung, I feel like they copied Google in some aspects on a lot of things. You know what I mean? Let's see. I just got the Alcatel 3V this week on Metro by T-Mobile, and I did a video on it. Oh, nice, man. What's up, Brandon Lau? How's it going, man? Welcome to my channel. Looks like you're new to me, at least. We're just having a general Q&A here, and we're general tech talk, I guess. Tech for your needs. Thanks for still being here, man. Again, whatever you guys want to talk about at this point, you know what I mean? I've been live streaming for about a good half an hour already, and you guys are I like to say you guys are like my diehards over here, the people that actually are into being in on my live streams. What is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is happiness and money. And you can pick one of those two, okay? That's a good question, actually. Samsung, what's up? Samsung in 2020, man. How's it going? What's up, my amigo? How is it going? Again, we're just having a general tech Q&A. Happy New Year, by the way, to those of you who are joining in. This is actually my first live stream, and I'm not complaining. First of many. Hopefully, this is technically my second video of the year because I posted my first one yesterday about again the Nexus 4. So that was my first video of 2020, and this is my second video, which would be a live stream. I wouldn't consider it like a video though, but they kind of YouTube kind of categorizes live streams away from regular videos now, which is weird. TSB says the Nexus 4 has a Snapdragon S4 Pro and it's 16 to 2 to answer that question. Okay, 16 gigabytes internal memory, 2 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, you're correct on that. Brandon Lau says Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. I have all three of those actually. So I have a PC right behind you guys that I built. I have the Xbox One and I have the PS4. I don't have a specific preference. I think all of them have their own, pluses, I guess. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, TSB. All right, no, that's fine. What is your first tech of 2020 you are thinking of buying? Well, if I do end up buying like something a little newer as far as phones go, I might end up waiting for either getting the Bold phone or maybe like a Samsung Galaxy A50 or A20 just to kind of see how they hold up. Even though they're last year's tech already, or I might just hold out. You know what I mean? I might just hold out for something a little newer. Maybe wait for CES. I know New Mobile has actually kind of been hinting that they are going to release something else a little bit later, so that'll be interesting if that actually does go down. For the most part, though, I'm not really I'm not really kind of doing my research on what I would want to get. You know what I mean? You guys know me, like I'm very, yeah, maybe the Umidigi A6. I'm actually still live streaming on the Umidigi A5 Pro or whatever you want to call it. So if the A6 comes out and it's cheap and the money is there or whatever, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it, guys. I mean, right now, again, money's a little tight for me right now. The holidays just passed. I spent a lot of money, and then I have to help my parents with property taxes right now. So Money is a little tight right now. I mean, luckily my channel is generating more views, and I'm getting help a little bit with that with my YouTube income. But as my channel grows, so does my budget, if you know what I mean. So does my budget. I'm poor, guys. I'm one of the. Hey, what's up, Lance Newville? Ulo, what's up? I guess that's hi or hello. How's it going, man? Happy New Year. Again, this is just a general talk and Q&A. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. This is just one of my regular live Q&A sessions that I do every now and then. Usually I'll try to live stream at least once a week for my followers. Today typically being Thursday. Obviously, I was a little busy leading up to the new year due to work. You know what I mean? My boss had actually been on vacation, so I was actually covering my department, and I was opening a lot, so I was getting to work early, like at 6 a.m. every day. So I was a little tired, guys. So, that's why I wasn't live streaming, and I've just kind of been binge watching Naruto Shippuden. If you guys are familiar with animes or whatever, I've been kind of watching that. I'm on episode like 350 already out of like 500. So I've been just kind of taking my time with that. The Samsung Galaxy S4 had the S4 as well. Well, I mean, I never had the S4 to kind of compare the devices, but I mean, if I were to choose, I would probably think that it would probably run a little bit better on the Nexus 4. So, and yeah, I guess at the time, Nexus was kind of trying to gun it out with Samsung as well. But again, Samsung was more of the again the flagship company, because they were selling more devices at the time, even though they were basically almost double the price of like the Nexus devices. So the S4 at the time was probably like $400 or $500. Again, when the Nexus 4 was about half the price at 250. So to me, like, that was just a better deal, and you were getting the same specs, same everything, except again, you just didn't have the name to it. You know what I mean? Obviously, the name was LG, and then LG decided to start making better devices. They came out with their G series, and the G series phones, for the most part, I think didn't really get recognized until like the G3, and then now they're like on the G8 or the G8 Plus or whatever you want to call it. So I think, to me, I guess LG is still a little bit underrated when it comes to their smartphones, and how they've handled their lineup, I guess. I had the G4, I had the G6, and I really can't complain about those. I haven't really had any of the other G series phones. Build quality on those phones were pretty much solid. They were great phones to hold in the hand. Um, yeah, I kind of agree there that the G5 kind of ruined the whole series, though. I think they were trying to copy Motorola with the Moto mods, except they were going their own route with trying to have those detachable little things where you can either add a camera or just do something to it. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess a lot of people didn't like that. When they tried to bounce back with the G6, no one really cared about the G6, even though the G6 again at the time was a pretty solid phone. Although it wasn't, to me, it still really wasn't on par. Yeah, their UI is can be stuttery. I remember using their UI when I had the LG G6, and for the most part, I mean, if you guys are familiar with like rooting phones and whatnot, you can probably just get a stock version of Android on there, or a stock skin of Android. Downloading like the Google launcher or something like that. I mean, people should know that, you know what I mean. But I mean, at the same time, you're still going to have a lot of little features that'll still be kind of embedded into the UI. Um, and they rarely update their phones. Again, that's not a surprise also, but I guess to me, as long as something works, and it works okay, I'm not gonna complain too hard as far as like it getting updates. Like, I don't care if the phone has the latest version of Android. Like, to me, like, I can still use Android Lollipop and probably not have a problem with having this older version of Android. As long as it works and I'm not having any issues with what I'm using here. You know what I mean? The G9 should be coming out. Yeah, I'm not a fan of LG and like other phone companies releasing their newer phones earlier in the year. I guess I know Samsung is popular for doing that. They usually will release their new phones like in March or April, and I guess they try to stay away from Apple releases just because they don't want to. I guess they don't want to compete or try to compete there on that type of level. I mean, but it is what it is, you know. I mean, I think at the time Nexus was always actually, you know, putting out their phones right around the time that Apple was releasing them. Usually, it was either before or after. So that's what I liked about Google, and even now they're still kind of releasing the Pixel devices around the Apple devices. You know what I mean? And you don't see a lot of other phone manufacturers do that. You know, I mean, Google has the guts to do that, and it's pretty crazy. But at the same time, I know Google is kind of really been focusing on just the camera and not other aspects of the phone, like the you know, the build quality. Obviously, I mean, yes, they have like OLED panels now, but like the look of the phone is not really appealing. If you guys have the Pixel 4, you know, it's really not an appealing looking phone, at least not in my opinion. I would probably rather just get like the Pixel 3 instead, or even a Pixel 2 if I could still find one. You know what I mean? Or even the Pixel 3a. You know what I mean? It's just the phones are not very good looking or very good looking to hold in the hand. Yes, they're different, obviously. You know what I mean? But I think now, like Apple's, you know, now Apple's kind of dominating with their cameras, and with the Pixel 4, you're not really seeing a lot of you know, reviewers say that the Pixel 4 is the camera king anymore. You know what I mean? I don't agree, Samsung, that the Pixel 1 was the best looking Pixel. I kind of disagree there. I probably would favor the Pixel 2 as the best designed Pixel, in my opinion. You're saying funny how even the first Pixel has Android 10. Well, that's pretty cool that, you know, that Google is allowing, you know, even that first Pixel device to have Android 10 running on it. You know what I mean? And that's good. You know what I mean? That they're giving them the latest, greatest versions of it. You know, I mean, I wish I can upgrade this to at least like Android 6 or 7.0. You know what I mean? And I'm not getting anything. I think when I had the when I try to click update, it says that the phone's already up to date. So this is actually running Android 5.1.1, which is probably the last version of Android that you can get on this phone. Um, the 5X, when I had the 5X, I believe it was running Android Oreo, Android 8.0 or Android 8.1, if I'm not correct on that. And yeah, and the thing is, like, I don't know if I want to root the device, or I don't know if I want to get like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I mean? I kind of like it being as stock as possible. And maybe I'll talk to Rob about that, about rooting the device and getting a newer version of Android on it, maybe, or like getting some sort of build on it, maybe something a little newer. You know, seeing how like that works on an older device like this again, 2012. But I really don't want to ruin the device either by doing something that I know that can potentially mess it up. I'd rather just leave it like that and let it sit where it is as far as like its performance and its usage or whatever. I mean, you know, people want to stretch the limitations of these devices, but at the same time, you know, they were only meant to get so many updates, and they were only meant to just do so much. So I'm just genuinely shocked that this phone is still running in 2020, and I'm just very impressed on how this thing is still holding up, actually, honestly. Like, if I could put a SIM card in there, I would try to use this as my daily or I would try to put my visible mobile SIM in there. It's just not, I just can't get it to fit, guys. So well, what else? Who else is here? What do we got, guys? What are y'all thinking over here? Getting Facebook notifications. Kind of getting hungry, fellas. Okay, it says if you try to root it, TSB says if you decide to root it, try Chroma ROM on 60. It works just fine. Okay. Well, it sounds like you're more familiar with the rooting process than me, man. I've actually never rooted an Android device. Out of all the years that I've been having Androids, I've never attempted to root. I've never wanted to root. I think the only thing that I ever really did with any of my Android devices was I actually upgraded the Samsung Galaxy S2 from I think at the time it was running like Android 3 or Android 2 or something like that, and I updated it to I think Ice Cream Sandwich or Jelly Bean. No, I was running Android Ice Cream Sandwich, and I manually updated it to Android Jelly Bean, which I had to actually download the update on my computer, and then I had to install it by connecting it to my computer, and again I had to unpackage all the software into the phone, and then I restarted it, and it miraculously didn't mess up. So Samsung says, I'm going to give you $1 for the first time ever. If you mean you're going to give me a super chat, that would be my first super chat of the year. So if you guys hook it up with super chats, thanks. I really appreciate it. Samsung, I'll give you a big shout out if you do, by the way. But anyway, for the most part, again, 2020, it's going to be an interesting year for me. Last year I almost jumped up about 2,000 subs. My watch time and my minutes. Whoa, Samsung, dang, bro. Thank you very much, man, for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that, actually. First super chat of 2020, so I will remember that the whole year. And anytime you jump in on a video, as far as live stream goes, I will always mention Samsung gave me that super chat on today's January the 2nd, right? Tech says, I am going to try to unlock the Samsung Galaxy A20 phone. Awesome, man. I think those phones are going for like about $100 now. I think maybe the A10 also, or something like that. I want to try to get my hands on one of those, just because, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, I really don't know if I want to spend the money right now. So I mean, I'm gonna wait for my income tax and all that stuff to go through first before deciding to buy like another review unit. In the meantime, I'll be testing out the Nexus 4 and taking video and making videos with that. I thought Metro phones unlock automatically after like a couple of months. I think as long as you activate the phone and then you use the service for like a month or something like that. I heard that like the phone will auto unlock or something like that. Like, it'll just do it on its own after like a couple of months. I think at like 90-day period or whatever. You have to have the phone for like 90 days in order for it to unlock. All right. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys think my channel will shoot up in subscribers this year? I mean, I think I didn't hit my goal, unfortunately, of 10K last year. I was right under that. I'm barely about to hit 9.7K on my channel. So I was a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy to get any new subs and new viewers at all during my, I guess, my reign as the B-Tech King over here. Samsung, thank you again for the big super chat. Even if it was just $1, man, that's really something that you guys respect me enough to send out money out of your pockets. So I really appreciate that, and it always goes a long way. You know what I mean? So I can't forget my buddies here and my friends. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? Who's saying what? I can't wait that long. Tecton B. Then maybe you should call Metro by T-Mobile and ask them if there's a way that it can get unlocked, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% positive. You might want to ask Kevin Breeze or even Mikey Tech Reviews. He knows more about the unlocking process on the. I'm going to take off my Apple Watch, guys. My Apple Watch Series 3, by the way, I ordered a band for it, a Spigen band and cover to hopefully protect it. So hopefully, I get it. It should come in tomorrow. I'll probably make a video about that. For the most part, I had the Apple Watch 1, and I really liked it. But at the same time, at the time, I guess I just didn't really have a lot of functionality for the first Apple Watch. This one feels like it's got a little bit of a better build quality than the Apple Series 1 watch, obviously, when I first had it. And I just I'm really enjoying this now. You know what I mean? I get all the notifications I need. When my phone's in my pocket and I'm getting either a text message or something, I don't have to dig my phone out of my pocket. I can just raise my arm and look at my watch and see who's texting me or who's trying to get a hold of me, whether it be like an email or something like that. So I think that's one thing. That's one benefit of having a smartwatch like this. A lot of people are haters on Apple Watches, and I generally wasn't. I think the first time I had it, I was dating. My last girlfriend was kind of crazy, and anytime I got like any type of notification on my watch, she thought I was like cheating on her or something like that. So So I was just like, no, I'm just gonna get rid of the watch. I don't need that kind of drama in my life. You know what I mean? So you're saying that the Apple Watch Series 3 is an OLED panel? Well, if it is, that's pretty cool. I really like the watch face that I have on it right now, by the way. I'm actually going to plug it in um, to its charger because I haven't charged it in like 2 days. So I'm finally going to charge this baby. Right now it is at like halfway. It was still like at 40%. I probably could have went another day without actually having to charge this, but I'll do that the following day or whatever. And I'll just let it sit for now. Whoa. But I took it off, so. Okay, let's see. Samsung says yes, indeed. If it were ice, okay, I don't understand that last statement, guys. You're confusing me. Tectwan B says, how can I put a super chat on my YouTube channel? To receive to receive a super chat, you actually have to be monetized. And then if you have to go to your YouTube settings and you have to enable super chat, and basically whenever you do live streams, it'll allow you to accept super chats basically. So okay, you're saying if it was LCD, it would be thick. Okay, I get it now. You misspelled LCD, by the way, but I'll forgive you. No, but yeah, I mean, in order to do that process again, you have to be monetized on your channel already. I don't know, Tectwan, if you are monetized or not, but if you're not, then that's gonna kind of hold you back just a little bit. So just an FYI, you need to meet the qualifications, and that'll happen. I'm gonna respond over here to Kevin Bang or whatever his name is, but not for long. So if I don't respond quickly, sorry, bro. Tectwan, try samunlocks.net and send him an email about it. It says $50 on our site. I mean, it's crazy that they charge a fee to unlock phones. I mean, the carrier should do it for free. You know what I mean? Um, as long as you buy the phone, like there shouldn't be an issue. Like, okay, I get you. You're saying LCDs are thicker panels, and Apple Watch. If the Apple Watch had an LCD, it would be thicker as well as OLED are very thin. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I kind of hate that YouTube is making things so strict with, I guess, new YouTubers nowadays. You have to meet those strict guidelines in order to enable monetization on your channel. Which I guess I was lucky at the time because, back then when I first started my YouTube channel, I think the only guideline was that you had to have like 100 like subscribers, and you had to have maybe like 1,000 hours of watch time. It was a lot less, honestly, or it was the requirements were just a lot less. And once I got grandfathered in to YouTube monetization, I went ahead and just did it. But at the time, also, there was a lot of companies out there or other, I guess, monetizing agencies that were reaching out to YouTubers that would tell them like, hey, like we give better rates than YouTube, like AdSense or whatever. So we'll like come to our like this happened with me, by the way, and this is why I kind of stopped posting videos after a while, because it was kind of like a big lie in my opinion. It was some sort of like not I wouldn't say it was a marketing, I guess, affiliate program, but it was like an affiliate program basically, and what it was, and basically you would have to disconnect from the YouTube monetization, and you would go with like this other network that would still put ads on your videos, but again, they would claim that you would get like a higher CPM or higher rates as far as like the viewage. So in my case, I went that route, and they unfortunately lock you in for a whole year at the time. So I think this was like the year 2015 for me, and I was not able to get out of them until I completed a year with them, because I guess that was like their contract. So once I did, I emailed them and I told them I want out. I don't want to be a part of this like network anymore. And because they claimed that they would be promoting my channel also, and they never did that once, so it kind of made me mad. So I was just like, nope. If you're not gonna do what you're saying you're gonna do on your end of the bargain, then I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna attempt to like make videos and make you more money. You know what I mean? So during that period, my channel growth went from like here to down there just because. And I didn't really make any videos about it. You know what I mean? At the time, I just was really kind of quiet about it because I felt really stupid about joining their network because I should have just stayed with YouTube and their monetization program. Luckily, once I got out of that and I reapplied for the YouTube Partner Program, it didn't even take more than like a week for me to get back into the YouTube Partner Program. And then that's when I started to try to make more videos consistently. You know what I mean? Let's see. TSB says, I agree that only time I understand locking a phone would be financing a phone, but if you bought it, then unlock it. Yeah, I mean, if it's already paid off, they should not have an issue with unlocking it. There should be no issue. Again, if you're under a finance program though, and it's not letting, and they tell you, oh, okay, the phone has to be paid off before we can attempt to do anything, then there's that. You know what I mean? Let's see, how long have we been going? I've already been going for an hour, guys. It's already midnight where I am. Ooh. All right, I'll go. I'll be for a little. I'll be on it for maybe a little while longer, maybe another 10, 15 minutes before I get off. So throw out those questions, guys. Throw out those super chats. Throw out those suggestions on what you guys want to see on my channel. I threw out a poll on my Twitter, by the way, on the Nexus. And, what do you guys want to see on it? Do you guys just want to see general use on it? I'm looking at my Facebook messages, and some guys like, I watch your YouTube videos. I'm a seller on Amazon who sells waterproof cases, and I need your help. This is in October. No thanks. Waterproof cases in 2019. Most phones are waterproof to begin with, so I don't really need a waterproof case. The Pixel Watch in 2020. That would be actually something interesting to have, I guess. Tito Escobar. Whoa, Tito Escobar. Welcome back. Happy New Year, by the way. I have it right here, man. It's in my hands. I was actually chit-chatting about it a little while ago. It's good, man. Honestly, my favorite build phone of the LG Nexus, man. I mean, better than the 5, better than the 5X. Still holds up really well. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other video that I posted, man, but this thing is snappy. Again, it's running the Snapdragon S4 Pro. But I can't complain, man. Honestly, it does a good job in my opinion when it comes to getting the job done as far as like jumping from app to app. You know what I mean? I mean, you can just see here. I'm just barely tapping, and it's doing a good job. For a phone that's from 2012, basically. You know what I mean? Again, it's just impressive. You know what I mean? So, I think it's holding up very well though for what it is, man. Probably my least favorite part would be the actual headphone jack area right here because it's kind of like slightly, it's kind of like at a weird angle, I guess. So like when you try to plug one in, it pops out really easily. So if you put like a case on here or something like that, it's really the headphone jack doesn't really stay on. Um, the Pixel Watch would definitely not take off considering that they caught themselves at the moment with the Pixel 4. I mean, at this point, I think Google, they did good back in the day with their Nexus devices, and now currently with their Pixel devices. And if you look back, they even try to compete with Apple with their tablets. Not to say that their tablets were bad. Again, they just didn't market them very well, I guess. But that's not to say that their performance was not there. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if they come out with a Pixel Watch, good for them. But I mean, this has to be like something that is going to be something that's just as good, if not even better than the Apple Watch. Okay, like I'm over here talking about the Apple Watch also that I got as well, Tito. So again, man, Pixel 4, man. Uh, I just love this device, man. This is honestly probably my favorite Nexus device, and I really should have kept it back in the day, but when I ended up selling it, I think I ended up selling it because again the Nexus 5 was out and the Nexus 5 had a bigger internal memory. This one only has 16 gigs of internal memory. The Nexus 5, I believe, had the option of giving you like I think 16 and 32 gigs of internal memory, and I think I went that route where I ended up getting the 32 gigs, obviously. But I mean, again, I'm not complaining. At the time, this was a really good phone, so I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like now that Google is selling their Pixel 4 for basically what an iPhone, what you can get for an iPhone, it's like there's really nothing too impressive about the devices, in my opinion, to kind of sell me over an iPhone. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. You know, they would have to price their devices extremely low, in my opinion, or at least under the $300 mark, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I mean, the Apple Watch Series 3 right now is $200. You know, that's why I decided to go and get one. Whoa, hello. That's why I decided to go and get one of these babies right here because 200 bucks or 229 not including taxes was a good deal for me. It's a waterproof device and it gets the job done. So I can't complain, you know, with the Apple Watch. I didn't want to spend the extra on a Series 5, even though the Series 5 is a little bigger and probably specs are a little better, obviously, but it's not to the point where, like, hey, I'm going to be using whatever features that the Apple Watch 3 doesn't have, you know what I mean? And those things were sold out. I could not get them during Christmas, by the way. Like I wanted to get the Apple Watch Series 3 for Christmas, but it was already sold out. So again, if you guys saw my video about UPS losing my Apple Watch, basically what happened was I ordered an Apple Watch from Walmart.com, and they said, okay, it'll get here before the new year. So I ordered it like a couple of days before Christmas, and I actually got it. The UPS delivery driver attempted delivery on December the 30th, which is before the new year, right? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm getting my watch badass. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna be able to use it. This, and that. I'll be able to put out a video before the new year. Well, UPS shows up and they're delivering one of my mom's packages, which is something that my brother ordered my mom, and then they delivered my watch at the same time. And the box was empty. The box, like they just gave me an empty box, and I told the guy, dude, there's nothing in here. Like you know what a box feels like when it has a package in it, and there was nothing in it. So I kind of like tried to just crack it open just a little bit. Again, it wasn't taped up or anything like that, and I told the guy, "There's nothing in here, dude." Like, so he said, "Wow," like, you know, I guess he didn't even realize that there was nothing in there. So I told him, "Hey, man, like, I mean, like, what do I do? Like, I mean, there's nothing in here. Like, this sounds real stupid, you know what I mean?" But he's like, "You can refuse the package, and I'll have you put that you refuse the package. That way, you can submit a claim on it." So he gave me this thing where I called UPS, and I was hoping that UPS would give me a call or something like that saying, hey, your watch turned up, you know, maybe it fell out at one of the distribution centers or whatever. I gave them my info. They have my phone number. They told me they would call me back like within an hour. I never got a call back. And I was mad. Like, I was like, what the hell? So I went to walmart.com and I actually got on one of their chats. And I said, I was chatting with one of their online reps, and I was like, "Hey, I got my watch delivered, but there was nothing in the box. They sent me an empty package, basically." But from what I know or what I think happened is someone probably knew what was inside the box and they just opened it up and they stole it straight out. So, and I think it had to have been a UPS employee. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was the guy that was delivering it in the truck because I asked him, "Can you go check inside the truck to see if maybe like one of the other boxes squished it and you know the thing just popped out?" And he went and looked for a couple of minutes and he came back and said, "Sorry, man, there's nothing here." And I was like, how does UPS not know that there's nothing in the box? Like, don't they have scanners or don't they check packaging when they're, you know, doing stuff like that? You know, when they're delivering items, when they're, you know, when the items are being processed through their distribution centers, like how does someone not know that, you know, there's nothing inside the damn box? You know what I mean? Which I felt like really stupid, but luckily, Walmart right away just said, "Hey, we can't replace the watch for you, unfortunately, but we'll go ahead and submit a refund." So that night, I just went to Best Buy, to one of my local Best Buys. I checked to see if they had any of the Apple Watch Series 3 in stock. Luckily, they did, and I bought it for the exact same price. So, I mean, it's not like it was a huge loss for me. But again, I did submit a claim on that, and I'm still waiting to hear back from UPS on that because I'm hoping that they can either reimburse me or Walmart on the $247 that I spent on that because somebody stole it. You know what I mean? And it's not cool, you know, that something like that happened, you know, because I mean that was technically my Christmas present to myself, you know what I mean? And even though I knew I was going to get it late, for something like that to happen, it was just a really big pain in the butt. You know, I hate to have to go through that process of trying to figure out what happened with the watch. And you know, I'm hoping that they contact me, or they tell me something, or something happens. You know what I mean? Because they were the ones that were responsible for that watch. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know what's going to happen. I never got a phone call from UPS, so I was really a little bit disappointed on that. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, hopefully I hear back. Maybe it'll be to the point where they send me the amount of money that was the amount valued for that. I gave them the amount that was valued for the watch, or maybe maybe I can go buy another item with that. You know what I mean? If they end up reimbursing me. But yeah, they should really start checking before they decide to start putting packages in trucks. You know what I mean? Because that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I really hate that Amazon kind of stopped their. They had a contract with FedEx, I think, before. So FedEx was actually the one that was delivering prior to UPS, I believe, and then I guess they just ended up stopping their contract with Amazon, and Amazon just decided to go with UPS, which UPS, in my opinion, is the worst delivery service out there. Normally, I'll always ship USPS or FedEx, if anything, or even a DHL before I'll go to UPS. I think those guys are overpaid and whatnot. So yeah, they've gotten pretty bad with deliveries. Like I don't see the hype about them. They're overpaid and whatnot. So it is what it is. I'm not going to talk too much trash because I have a cousin that works for FedEx actually, and FedEx is a lot better. Their tracking is much more precise. UPS's tracking is not fun to look at. It's just whatever, you know what I mean. But again, you know, I still ended up with my Apple Watch Series 3, guys. I'm happy with it, and you know, I'm gonna get that Spigen case for it tomorrow. So hopefully, I can make a video about that either tomorrow or Saturday, whenever I have the time. Tomorrow's gonna be a slow day at work. I already know, so you know, I'm just gonna take, you know, hopefully I get out early and I'll be able to do that. I think that Spigen case will come in tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, I've had issues with FedEx in the past, and like where items were delivered to the wrong house, etc., like that, and they've fixed the issues. You know what I mean? Or like it's been to the point where like I can go to their center and pick up the item if it was, you know, not delivered the same day or whatever. Like I don't know. I just don't want to talk about UPS, I guess, in general, because I mean they've been around for so long also. But it was a frustrating experience, and I'm just like, I just really want to know what happened to the watch. You know what I mean? I don't care about the watch anymore, but I just really want to know what happened to it. You know? I'm sure it's not an easy job, Tech Twan, unloading those trucks, man. I mean, it's one of those. Whoa, that thing turned blue. Is it still blue? I'm looking at my thing in the background. By the way, now it's purple. By the way, I gotta show you guys that. By the way, I'm gonna disconnect the camera from here really quick because I want to show this to you guys. Okay, hold on. So I got this new thing, by the way, guys. I bought it at Target. Hopefully, I can show you guys really quick. There we go. B-Tech Reviews, and it says I have 10K subs even though I only have 9.67, or I'm close to 9.7K subs, but I bought this at Target for like $20, and it's pretty cool. I really like it. It's just a little LED light that, you know, I was able to put the lettering on it, etc., like that. But I was like, this is pretty cool. I want this like as a wall piece, and it changes colors, but I can just set it to like just one color or whatever, like regular white, you know what I mean? Which doesn't look bad either, you know what I mean? I had the flowing lights in the background just because it looked a little better on the live stream, but whoa, hello. That looks weird. Sorry, let's try that again. Okay, YouTube just kind of like botched it, or my phone kind of just botched it now. There we go. That looks a little better. But anyways, guys, okay, hold on. What's everyone saying? I guess I will figure out what to do with that little light in the background or whatever. Maybe I'll use it in future videos or something like that. We'll see how that goes. All right, man. Tito, good luck, man. Get some rest. Feel better. I'm actually going to get off also, guys. So you guys have a good night. Happy New Year, by the way. Keep an eye out. I will probably be doing at least one Nexus video by the end of the week. Hopefully, maybe a camera test on it, and we'll see how that goes. So again, guys, Mike from BTech. Yeah, it's like one of those signs at the store. I bought it at Target for like 20 or $25, I believe, and it comes with a bunch of letters, so you can actually change the lettering on it. But again, guys, Mike from BTech Reviews signing off. Thank you all for watching my channel. Samsung, thanks for the super chat. Guys, love y'all, man. Y'all, peace out. Have a good night. Again, thanks for watching my channel. We'll see you guys next time, okay?